Some stories are so disturbing, so unexplainable, that they stay with you forever. Tonight, we're telling one of the scariest horror stories you won't believe. A story about a family that moved into a house with a dark past, a house that never wanted them to leave. By the time you finish listening, you'll wish you hadn't. The house on Willow Lane had been empty for years. No one in the town ever talked about it, but people knew something wasn't right. Then one day, the Grayson family moved in. James Grayson, a hard-working father trying to start fresh. Lisa Grayson, a loving mother, excited for their new home. Emma and Jacob, their two children, ages 12 and 8. It was supposed to be a dream home, a fresh start, but from the moment they stepped inside, something felt off. Lisa noticed it first. The air inside the house felt wrong, almost too still, like the house was holding its breath. The house was fully furnished, left behind by the previous owners, but something was unnerving about it. The furniture felt misplaced. The mirrors were covered. And then there was the locked door in the basement. When James asked the real estate agent about it, she hesitated. It's just an old storage room. The previous owners never used it. But that was a lie, because something was inside that room. At first, it was small things. Doors creaking open by themselves. Cold spots in random places. The sound of faint whispers at night. They blamed it on an old house settling. But then things got worse. One night, Lisa was cleaning the kitchen when she heard Jacob laughing upstairs. "Who are you talking to?" she asked, walking up the stairs. Jacob looked up at her, smiling. "The man in my closet." Lisa's blood went cold. "What man?" she asked. Jacob pointed. She opened the closet. It was empty, but the room was ice cold. That night, Lisa told James about it. "He has an imaginary friend," that's all James said, but Lisa wasn't convinced. Then, Emma started complaining about scratching sounds in the walls. James checked, assuming rats or an animal. But there was nothing. And then, they found the scratches inside Jacob's closet. Deep, jagged lines like someone had been clawing to get out. The house no longer felt like theirs. James started waking up at exactly 3:12 a.m. every night, feeling like someone was standing over him. Emma saw shadowy figures moving in the hallway. One night, Lisa woke up to hear Jacob whispering. She walked to his room and found him sitting up in bed, staring at the closet. "He's watching me," Jacob whispered. The closet door was open, but no one was inside. Lisa slammed it shut. But the next morning, it was wide open again. Then they heard it. A knock, coming from the basement. James grabbed a flashlight and went down, but the locked door at the back of the basement was rattling. Something was inside, and it wanted out. Lisa had had enough. She did some research and found out the truth about their house. Years ago, a man named William Carter had lived there. He was obsessed with the occult. People believed he had opened a door to something dark. One night, he disappeared. The only thing left behind was a locked basement door and the scratches inside. Lisa confronted James. "We need to leave." But it was too late. That night, Emma woke up screaming. She ran to her parents' room, shaking. "Something is in Jacob's room." James grabbed a bat and ran inside. Jacob was asleep. But the closet door was open. James turned on the light, and his stomach dropped. There were handprints on the inside of the closet door. But they weren't Jacob's. They were too large, too long, too distorted. Then, the closet door slammed shut on its own, and Jacob started convulsing in his bed. Lisa screamed, trying to wake him, but his eyes turned black. And he spoke in a voice that was not his own. "You can't leave. He belongs to me." The house shook violently. The lights exploded. And then silence. They grabbed their children and ran. But as they reached the door, the basement door burst open. A shadowy figure with glowing red eyes crawled out. It was not human. It let out a horrific screech, shaking the entire house. James kicked the front door open, and they ran outside. The moment they stepped off the property, everything went silent. They never went back. Days later, James went back with a priest and a demolition crew. The house was destroyed, but before the last wall came down, they found something hidden behind the basement door. A body, rotting, decayed. It was William Carter, his fingers completely worn down to the bone, as if he had been trying to claw his way out. The house had never been haunted. It had been his prison, and when the Grayson family moved in, it found someone new. To this day, the lot where the house once stood remains empty. But if you go there at night, you might still hear scratching from below. Would you have stayed in that house? Let us know in the comments, and watch this next horror story if you dare.